friends, you're welcome to Queen's Fashion World. I want to specially thank my subscribers. Thank you so very much. God bless you for your support. If today is your first time on tuning this channel, you are welcome. On this channel, I upload a sewing tutorial every week. So today I'll be teaching how to cut and sew a stylish BUBU top with overlap neck. So do well to hit the subscription button and also turn on the bell to get notification whenever I upload a new video. So I have a measurement to show you. So this is the measurement I will be using to cut this BUBU top today. Shoulder to hip length is 29 inches. Then full length of the top is 42 inches. Then I have shoulder measurement or length sleeve. You can measure from your back neck point to where the sleeve will stop, which is 28 inches. But if you forgot to measure, you can also calculate your shoulder and add length sleeve to it to get the perfect distance. Then round sleeve here is 15 inches or 12 inches. I have reason why I said 15 or 12. Me, I will be using 12, but if you want it to be big, you can use 15 inches. Then hip circumference here is 47 inches plus 5. If you want this BUBU top to be small, you can use this 5 inches. But if you want it to be full, like the picture you're seeing there, then you use 8 inches. When marking the hip circumference, you add 8 inches to it. So these are the measurements I will be using to cut this BUBU top today. So the fabric that I will be using, this is a chiffon fabric that I want to use for this top today. But you can use a bridal, Duchess bridal, you can use a crepe, plain or flower crepe, anyone, you can use it. So I have 2 years here with me. This is the way the material comes. This one is 3.5 yards. I bought 3.5 yards first. I find out that they do not be enough for the top, so I had to go get 2 years. You can get 5.5 years to use for this. You can also make it 6 years for, instead of it not to reach. It's better for the material to remain. So for me, I will fold the back now. You know, we will normally fold our fabric into 2. I will fold it into 2. Okay, I want to use the floor to cut this top because the dress is very big and the table might not show everything. So I'm marking it on the floor. The fabric now is folded into 2. Are you seeing? It's folded into 2. And this is the back. I want to cut the back first before I cut the front. So this line is my starting point. Now I will mark the neck first. The neck width is 3 inches. Then the depth 1 inch. So I will connect my line from the 3 inches like this. Normal high neck that will always cut the back. Now the next thing I want to explain. If you forgot to take the length sleeve of this BUBU top from the back neckline to where the sleeve will stop, another way you can do it is to calculate, to mark the shoulder. You mark the shoulder, then you add length sleeve to it, any length sleeve of your choice. But this one, because I measure from the back neck point to where the sleeve length will stop, normal way that we measure BUBU top, BUBU gown, butterfly. So it's 28 inches the length sleeve. So this is my 28 now. I will also mark it down, 28. So this is the 28 for length sleeve. Now, the round sleeve, you have to decide, you and your client. If you want it to be loose, you can make it 15 or 16. Depends how the person wants it. But for this one, I will be using a 12 inches. Are you seeing? 12 inches for this person. If you want it to be free, you can free it. I will mark, like if you're using 15, let me mark the shoulder slope. The shoulder slope is 2 inches shoulder slope. Now the way I mark my shoulder slope, I'll first of all trace the person's shoulder. The shoulder is 17 here, so this is 17. So from this 17, I will mark 1 inch normal shoulder slope. So I'm going to connect my hand from this 1 inch of the shoulder slope to the 2 inches. So the shoulder slope, I just connected the chalk from the length, the 2 inches to the 1 inch shoulder slope, and connect it to the neck. You know the fabric is not steady, it's shaking, and the chalk, I hope you're seeing well. So the next place I will mark from this shoulder slope now, I will mark the round sleeve. So if you are using 15, you can use 16, you can even use 18 if you want it to be big. Just measure the person and decide with your client. 15 inches, then you add sewing allowance 1 inch like this. So this is what you mark. Are you seeing the sewing allowance? Now the next place I will mark is the hip length. So the hip length, I place my tape from the shoulder, from that starting point. The hip length is 29 inches. I will go ahead and mark 29 and a half inch to join the upper part. So I will connect it. So this is my hip length. Are you seeing this line now from shoulder to the hip length? And this one is the full length of the top. The full length of the top is 42 inches, but I marked 43 inches, half inch to join the shoulder and to hem it down, very tiny, half inch. So the next thing I will mark again is the hip circumference. You don't really need your bust measurement. You just work with the hip circumference, because the bust, that is where the BUBU shape is. You need to allow the bust to be full. So the hip circumference is 47 inches. 47 inches divided by 4, that will give me 11/3. So I will go ahead and mark 11/3 here. And because it's a BUBU top, I will add 5 inches to it. These 5 inches include my sewing allowance. You can also make it 6 inches.
But if you want your own to be big, like the picture you're seeing there, add 8 inches to it. I don't want mine to be too big. That is why I'm using 5 inches.
5 inches to it. That is 5 plus 5. 5 times 4. That will give me extra 20 inches to the measurement. So this is the shape now. Now, I'm to connect my hand from this point now to this hip measurement. Are you seeing now? So I'll go ahead and connect. I'll just curve my hand from this point now. Are you seeing the shape? To get to this hip length. I'll go ahead and check the hip measurement. It's 17 inches. I will mark the same 17 inches at the down part like this, and I will also connect my chalk to this full length. Are you seeing the shape of the top now? Finish securing the fabric now with pins so that I can cut it. Now the round sleeve, this my own round sleeve. The picture you're seeing there, the round sleeve is not too free, so I want to use a round sleeve of 13 inches like this. So I will add a 1 inch sewing allowance. That is 13 divided by 2. What I marked here is 6.5. So if I'm to use this tight one, this is the shape I will take. Are you seeing? So the yellow chalk is the shape I want to use for this my own, because I don't want the round sleeve to be too big. But I've seen this type of style that people use with a big round sleeve, so you can use your own measurement. So I will follow this chalk. This is my own. If you are to extend the round sleeve, see how you can cut it out. So I will go ahead and cut it out now. So I hope you are seeing now. This is the shape of the back. I just finished trimming it out. This is how the shape is. I'll go ahead and fold the front and place this one to cut the front now. Okay, see what I have here now. I just place the back on top of the front, and I want to go ahead. This is the length, the same length with the back. So I want to cut it out like this. Are you seeing the same shape? This is by the side. I want to cut it out, and the round sleeve, and also the shoulder slope, and stop at the neck point. Then I will explain this allowance you're seeing here for you. So I just finished trimming the side and the shoulder slope. This allowance you're seeing here is the allowance that will help me to get the overlapping in front, and also the strap to get the neck you're seeing in front. So how to get this allowance here? The measurement, the length measurement for this top is 42 inches. So if you are using 42 inches, you just go ahead and minus 10 inches from it. So if you minus 10 inches from the 42, what I have here is 32 inches. So if you are using the length of 42 inches, you go ahead and minus 10 inches from the length to get that overlapping in front. What I have here is 32 inches minus 10. My length is 42 inches. But if you are using a length top of 40 inches, this overlapping in front should be 30 inches. Just remove 10 inches from it. This is, and it's folded into two. So you add one side of the front 30 inches, or if it's 32, one side of the front 32, the other side of the front 32 inches. That is how you get this allowance to overlap that front you're seeing there. Now the next place I will mark again. I will go ahead and divide this length into two equal parts. From the shoulder to the length, which is 43 inches, I will fold my tape like this and mark this 43. I'll fold my tape like this to mark the center. So you divide the length into two, from shoulder to the middle like this. Just divide the length and mark a chop like this. I just divided the length in front into two equal parts to get the overlapping. So the next place I will mark is the neck. For me to mark the neck of this front, I will use 7 inches, but I don't want the neck to be too open, so 7 inches is okay for me here. I'll go ahead and mark my 7 inches like this. So from this point now, I will connect my line, which is the neck measurement like this, as if I'm cutting a V neck. Are you seeing? I'll just go ahead and mark my chalk to this 7 inches. Then from this 7 inches, I will now connect my hand like this. From this 7 inches now, I will not make it sharp like this. I'll go ahead and connect my hand this way. I'll just come out this way like this to get to this half length that I marked. So I just finished connecting the chalk from the neck line to the 7 inches, and find a way to connect your hand also to this half length, this middle point that we mark. So let me cut it out so that you see the shape. The material is not steady at all. So I just finished cutting it out. See how the front is. See the shape of the front. Are you seeing now? See the back. The style is very big, so it's difficult for camera to capture all, but I hope you're seeing like this. So I will take it to the machine now to join the shoulder, and let's start the sewing. So now this is the back. I want to join the top now, and this is the front. You see that this is the shoulder. I will pick one side of the front like this to this side, and I will pin it. I will go to the machine and sew the shoulder like this, and I will also sew this side, the shoulder also. the normal way of joining a BUBU shoulder. So let me go ahead and join the shoulder. I'll bring it to show you. So you see, I just finished joining the shoulder now, and I hem the sleeve. That is the round sleeve. I see. I just hem it. Normal hemming, double fold it into two like this. I just hem the sleeve. I also apply the same thing to this shoulder. I join the shoulder and I hemmed the sleeve like so. So the next lesson I will be doing again, I will close the round sleeve to the bust till the length. I see, and I will hold it like this and close it, and close the two sides first. Then I will come back to show you the next thing to do. So I just finished closing the side now. I see the way I closed it like this. I see now. So this is one side, and I also close this side also like this. So the next place I will be working on now is the overlapping and the neck. I will be hemming it. Now I'm going to start from this back. You can start anywhere. Start from this back to hem it. I see. You can start from the center of the back. Just hem it. You double fold it like this. Normal timing hemming. I will hem it all through like this to come to the overlapping. I will hem it the way it is. Also come to the neck. I will hem it all around till this side. Also the same thing. I will hem it all through like that. So let me go and hem it for us to see the next thing to do now. So you can see I just finished hemming it all around now. I hem the allowance and the neck.
So the only place I didn't hem is the lapel allowance because I'm going to sew it inside.
I didn't hem this part because I'm going to sew it inside. But I hemmed the down. I hemmed the down and also the neck, the allowance. So I want to do the twist now. Now this is my right hand. This is my right hand. This is my left hand, the way I'm holding it now. So I will pick this right hand and I will flip it over to this left. I see now. I pick the right hand and I flip it over this way, and I pick the left and throw it over to the right hand. Let me explain this again. How to get the twist in front. I pick the right hand and I throw it over to the left, and I pick the left and throw it over to the right. So you can see that this is the good side, this is the good side. They are facing up now like so. So I will also pick this left hand that I throw on the right. I'll bring it like this now and turn it over to this side and go to the machine and join it. It's because of this reason. It's because of this reason that I didn't hem this part, but every other part I hemmed it, because after now you can't hem it properly again. So I will go to the machine and join it. Then I will hang it on the mannequin for us to twist it properly. So you see what I have here now. See the way it is. We just twisted the first twist, and now I want to twist it the second time again. So I will bring this allowance like this. To cover the sewing allowance inside, just slap it like this. And now I will twist it again like this now. I see the way I'm turning my hand. So after placing it like this now, I'm going to twist it again. I'm going to twist it again to turn it like this. I'll turn it over like this. I see now. I'm going to turn it like this to bring it to the neck. I see now. Let me turn the mannequin first so that you see. You know, I pin the center back of the neck. So now I'm going to join it to the neck, the center part like this. You sew it inside. I see. Just hold the allowance, the center to center, that joining that way. That joining that I joined, I place it at the center back and pin it like this. So from this part now, I'm going to pin it all through. You just pick it like this, pick the two edges and pin it. So I will keep pinning it like that.
The neck and the lapel.
I'm pinning it together to get the front overlapping. So I will keep pinning it like this.
So just pin it and remain space of 3.5 inches or 4 inches for the overlap to balance well.
And I stop this side. I'll come back to this side again from the center back. I will also pin it like this. I will apply the same thing this side also. I'll pin it like this. So I will take it to the machine and sew it and bring it back for us to see. So I just finished joining the lapel now. And there's something I want to show you. When you join the lapel, please remain a space. Create a space for the overlap. Are you seeing now? About 3.5 inches. Each of the side, this side you remain a space, this side you remain a space, so that the overlap can balance very well. And there's something else I did at the back. Now the lapel, I just folded it and lap it like this. Are you seeing the first folding small like this, and the second one I just top stitch it so that it will balance at a place. You can arrange it whichever way that you want it. So see the front you have to arrange it. Maybe you can tack it whichever way that you want it, or you leave it to flow like that. Now because it's my size, let me put it on to show you, because the mannequin is very small for this. Now see how beautiful the top is on my body. If you want it to stay at a place, you can go ahead and maybe tack it with needle, whichever way that you want it. Just arrange it and tack it. Now because I don't want it to be too big, that is why I added 5 inches for the hip. But if you want it to be big, like the picture you're seeing there, you can increase it to that 8 inches. So like this size is okay for me. So you can use skirt to wear it. You can use a sleeveless gown to wear it. You can use a trouser to wear it. Thank you so very much. Please like and share my video. If you have not subscribed, subscribe to this channel. Thank you. God bless you.